Welcome back to the Fitness Show featuring UFC Gym of Santa Clarita. My name is Ellen and I'm here with Torrence Pfatenhauer. I said it right.
You did it.
Yay! Didn't screw up that end so it's been one of those days. I know we all have those days. I mean, I just like to talk authentically here on the air. We all have those days where just nothing that we want to come out of our mouths comes out of our mouths the way that we want it to. And I'm having one of those days. So just like if you're having one of those days, let's just, have one of those days together because it happens sometimes.
Yeah,
that's real life. Yep. And being on the air, that's all I have to communicate with you is my voice and the things that come out of my mouth. So I just, it's one of those days, it happens. But we're talking about the perfect workout week. In the first half, we talked about perfect workout week. Like for Torrence, he went ahead and was talking about his perfect workout week, which he does different forms. You have jiu-jitsu, you resistance training. Yep. Your cardio is usually with martial arts kind of background to it. Mine, I do resistance training along with cardio. Now, UFC Gym of Santa Clarita, we have the cycle classes, which is a great cardio. A lot of people are they're cycle fanatics.
Big time.
They love cycle, and it is a fun class. We have great instructors. We have Lisa and Vanessa, and they're both in Asia. All three of them are completely different, and they're really, really good. Fantastic. And then we have the other class. I do resistance training in the Balcor room. So you're using free weights, and what I do is it's a very mind on muscle technique where I'm teaching you exactly what muscle you're working, and I'm very about form and everything's going, and it kind of flows my whole week. By the time you're done with my week, you've worked every muscle in your body along with cardio and with your core as well. Then we have the boxing and the kickboxing classes. Boxing, it's going to be mostly upper body, right? You're not really using...
It's upper body and a lot of cardio.
Yeah, which I love. And we have a great new boxing coach we should talk about.
Newest addition to the team, Angelo Nunez. He's a retired pro boxer. He was up there fighting with guys like Floyd Mayweather and Oscar De La Hoya. But he is a wizard. I mean, He's very technical, and I think a lot of times when you walk into a gym and you want to do a boxing class, people just want that cardio. I've heard people say it to him, I don't want to learn how to box, I just want to get in there, hit the bag, and sweat.
Wow, really?
Which, fair enough. To be honest, when I'm approaching a bag class, yes, I like to learn technique because martial arts is my thing, but at the same time, my number one goal is to sweat, burn calories. But he teaches you the technique, and I haven't seen anybody leave that class who wasn't completely sweaty.
Yep.
I mean, there's a way to get it both done, and when you focus on technique, one of the coolest things, and this goes with the weightlifting class too, the hour goes by so much faster than thinking about how tired you are. You focus on other things. I
always know as I'm even teaching my class, I'm going, wait a minute, we're already out of time? I mean, it just goes so quickly.
Yeah.
So, that's what happens when you're doing, because it's funny, I've gotten from the gym a lot that he has classes in my class, like I'm to resistance training what he is to boxing, because we're both very technique oriented, and we want everything done the right way. But I know people are loving his classes.
Oh, yeah.
And he has such a passion for what he does.
Yep. Plus, I think he's pretty much always in the gym.
Yes.
I mean, you can't hide from Angelo if you come work out any time of the day.
No, he's always there. He is.
Yep.
And I love it. He's always pitching in every way possible. He's just got such a great attitude. And just one of those rare people that a gym is lucky to have.
Yep.
And he's a wonderful person outside of even training.
And I would add that to all our coaches. I don't want to toot one horn louder than the other. We have some really great new additions and some really strong pillar coaches who have been there, like yourself, or months now, and I think the team collectively is just so awesome for our members to take advantage of.
We have a strong team.
Major experience factor, I think, is what makes our coaches so different. I mean, yourself, Angelo, Turbo, Vanessa. Vanessa is funny. She came in and was going to work with us, and I stared at her forever, almost kind of creepy, but I realized I met her 10 years ago when I first started working in fitness. So she's seasoned along with her husband, Lyndon. I mean, these people have put their lives into their craft. Yeah. This isn't, people who took a class for a week and got a certificate to teach something. So huge benefit.
Yeah, we don't have box trainers.
Not at all.
We are all they're called freestyle, is what the word is out there. It's called freestyle trainers and coaches. And that means that we don't take a certificate where we get sent our choreography every 6 weeks.
Right.
We go by the feeling of the room, what the plan is. We always go in with a plan. We don't walk in and just kind of, here's what they told us to do, so we're just going to do it. We know why we're doing what we're doing.
Right.
We know exactly why the workout is sequenced the way it is. It's not because someone sent it to us. It's because we built it ourselves. That is a big difference.
Yep. I'd say we have probably the most highly adaptive coaches as well. I don't know any coach in our club that I work with that you couldn't walk up to and say, hey, look, I really want to take your class, but I have this shoulder problem or my back, is bugging me, and they can adapt. I mean, these coaches want you there. It's not just like, well, do what you can, which is a sign of a good place to be.
Yes, modifications. Your coach that is training you always has to have modifications for you.
Right.
Because we do have real life, and real life does get in the way.
Big time.
And a lot of the times, a lot of people will come to classes and come to coaches because they've been injured in the past by trying to do it on their own. And they've been trying it for a while, or it could be a sport in high school where they got hurt, or it could be an overusage injury. It could be somebody that drives to and from work 2 hours each way.
Yeah.
You're going to have a lot of upper back stuff start to happen, and then weaknesses happen. And you also, so there's a lot of different things that are going to build up to that, and you want a coach or a trainer that's going to know and have the knowledge to look and say, okay, wait a minute, let's talk about this.
Right.
Is it, a diagnosed injury? Is it a non-diagnosed injury? Is it something that just is a nagging issue that's bothering you, or is there a real injury?
Yep.
So,
and sometimes we go back to that workout schedule. Sometimes it's a guy comes into my jiu-jitsu class and, man, we did legs 5 days this week. My legs are toast. Well, then we step back and say, well, hey, man, let's look at your week and see how we can avoid this next time.
Exactly. So all those things add up. So at UFC Gym Santa Clarita, you're going to get coaches that know what they're doing.
For sure.
And the classes are so widely varied. If you think about it, you have a cycle class, you have a class called DUT, which you said is a conditioning class.
DUT, yeah, it's athletic conditioning adapted to each person's skill level. I mean, I'm not the athlete I was, but I still get in there and get to have a good variety of different workouts.
And then boxing, kickboxing. My classes, which are like a muscle makeover, we have circuit breaker at 5 a.m. with Robin.
Yeah.
People are very, very, very addicted to that class. They get up at 5 a.m. to do it. It's an amazing class. Day. Yes. Then it's an amazing class, because people don't do that for just no class. It's not a good class. And then we have the 6 a.m. group. So we have the different crews, and we have different kind of classes, and they're going to hit your body in all these different ways.
Right.
So you can have that perfect workout week.
Right. I think it's impossible to get bored at our club.
Yeah, really, isn't it?
I mean, yeah. Plus, there's a state-of-the-art workout area just for you to do your own thing.
Yes.
If you want to kind of be away from people and coaches for a day, you've got you covered.
If you haven't walked in, you need to go check it out. We're going to give the address to you, but you need to just go walk in the door and see what's going on there. You're going to be very impressed. And I hear we're getting a boxing ring?
Yeah. Because Angelo is such a phenomenal boxing coach, it's time for the boxing ring. We already have the octagon, the cage for MMA, but the boxing ring will be going upstairs. So we're filling more space. I mean,
I love it.
We still have room to work. So
yeah, there's plenty of space, and that means that we still also have the whole entire gym to do the things that we do. Like my Wednesday class is my cardio class, and I have my class in probably 4 out of the 8 or 9 rooms that we have, and I move them around from room to room. We're doing something different in every room. Yep.
And one of the things that when I give tours to new people who want to see the gym for the first time, our coaches are so good. They make use of things that, when I took over this club, I never thought of. But that staircase running track that's kind of developed on its own. I mean, the gym just has too many tools. Like I said, you just can't get bored. And as coaches, it's just a playground.
Yeah, right when I moved in, there was a dojo up there, so you couldn't use the whole gym. That whole staircase.
Right.
And then right when I moved in, he moved out, and I'm like, perfect. We've got, it's kind of our lap that all the members do. We have our lap. And we say go run a lap, they all know what that means. So it's an indoor lap, but it's a larger lap. So you can do 3 or 4 or 5 laps and get your heart rate up really well.
Right.
And the staircases are thrown in there. Or you can even just do some stairs. So we can do stairs. And then also the basketball court is great for sprinting.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So,
I mean, there's a lot of options.
A lot of options. But all of that isn't going to make any difference in your body if you're not eating right.
Nope.
So,
unfortunately.
Yeah. So nutrition is a very big part. All the coaches at UFC Gym Santa Clarita all know nutrition as well, which I think is really important. And we're all willing to share our nutrition advice with you.
Right.
With me, I stick to an anti-inflammatory nutrition, very, very balanced. I'm about 80 to 90%. I'm one of those organic people, and I like to do a lot of things very naturally. So
yeah, I really appreciated those essential oil drops from the other night. Those were fun.
I gave him some essential oil, and we didn't have a glass container to put it in, so he had to lick it, and he was like, "Are you kidding me?" Because they can be a little bit strong.
A little bit.
But didn't you feel a little bit better after?
I did. It got me through the night.
It
for
did,
sure.
Didn't it?
For sure.
And that was not using something over the counter. That was all natural ingredients. So I'm very about, very organic, pairing up my food in a really healthy way. I like, and everybody knows how to eat. I've got to say, we all really we
have a good understanding.
We just don't do it.
No.
And what's really cool about nutrition is nutrition used to be, if you're trying to be living in the fitness world, nutrition looked like a chicken breast, brown rice, and asparagus or broccoli.
Right.
End of story. That's what you got. Oatmeal for breakfast. The good news is we become a lot more sophisticated.
Yeah, I would say I follow you on social media, and sometimes you throw some of your meals up there, and they look really good. I mean, this doesn't look like a restrictive, suppressed diet that you're running.
No.
So very cool.
Thanks. You can have fun.
Yeah.
One of my favorite recipes I love to give out now that it's fall is butternut squash chili.
Nice.
And you can put beans in it. I choose not to. It's organic beef with butternut squash flavoring. And it is, when I make it or I give it out or I give the recipe out, people love this chili. And it's all healthy. It's all anti-inflammatory. I will find natural, whatever is in season. What I do is I grab it all and I'll make a salsa out of whatever fruit's in season.
Very
and
cool.
I do that by adding seasoning and use spices don't use spices out of a jar. Buy them fresh. They're at every market. Cut them up. Even if you're having a green salad, cut up some basil or mint and throw it in there with the leaves. It just adds a different element, and you feel like you're eating something that is out of a spa quality. And it feels like kind of a foodie meal versus just, I'm eating healthy again. Or even chop up that mint and throw it in your brown rice.
Yep.
Delicious. It's really good.
I think a mistake we make with nutrition, not just so much what to eat, how to eat, but there's this overwhelming feeling when I sit down, because a lot of gyms, if you sit down to just talk buying a membership, you're just going to get numbers. But at UFC Gym, like I said, we take this prescriptive approach, and I'll ask a new person, okay, well, what days are you going to work out? Can we push it to 4 days a week? And then the next question is, how's your diet? What are you eating? And there's this whole, change in the person's face when they realize, like, oh, I'm going to have to change it. And it shouldn't feel that way. I mean, what you're saying, with all these different ways to make things taste better, make things more fun, it should be more of a shift from I'm eating things that I shouldn't to eating things that I should, but it's still good. I shouldn't feel like I'm suffering every time I eat or that I'm giving something up.
Yeah, and it actually is delicious. One of my favorite breakfasts that I give out all the time, that people actually, I will get phone calls and messages about this when people have it, but I take actual sweet potatoes, and I cook them, about 4 or 5 of them, and I don't cook them all the way through, and then throw them in my refrigerator. And then depending on how big the sweet potato is, I take either a third or a half of it, and I put it in a pan with some spray coconut oil. You can get that at Trader Joe's. Kind of brown it slightly, throw 2 eggs and egg white in there, scramble that up, put it on a plate with a half a diced avocado and hot sauce.
Sounds good.
It's amazing. It's like something you would get at a restaurant.
Right.
But here you are. You can do it in your home. It literally takes about 4.5 minutes to make this. So you can't say I don't have the time. You have 4.5 minutes. If you don't have that time, you can also do, for breakfast, you can also take oatmeal and cook it with frozen fruit and just put a little tiny drizzle of honey on it. And there you go. And you can put walnuts in there as well. And you're going to get a really nice, and it's going to taste so good. And then my hint that I've been giving out to all my classes, because when I'm done with my class, when I'm teaching, I don't just say, hey, see you guys, bye. I always like to give out either a motivational moment or a food moment. I like to let everybody leave with something they can take with them. My tip of this week is when it's fall. It's time for soups. And there's so many flus and things going around right now that this is when we really need soups. Instead of using a broth for your soup, you can now buy bone broth at any of the markets. Nice. So don't use the chicken or the beef. Use the bone broth. Bone broth has, what they do is they take the bones and slowly cook them until they disintegrate. Okay. And they have a small amount of meat on them when that happens. Why it's so much better for you, it has natural BCAAs in it, which is branched chain amino acid, the building blocks of protein in our bodies. So it has that naturally in there.
Right.
You're going to get more protein. There's so many minerals in there that come from the bone. You know, we all know how healthy bone marrow is for us. You get that. You get all of that, and it comes like broth. So why have chicken broth when you can have bone broth, and it's going to be that much more healthy for you?
Right.
And it has kind of this earthy, hearty flavor to it, so it really tastes like something that you would get at a restaurant.
Very cool.
And so that's just kind of a hint that I have right now that I can just throw out there. And also right now, peaches, butternut squash is in season. There's so much you can do with it. Yesterday I made a soup with butternut squash, organic meat, ground beef. I threw that in there and some seasoning and topped it with avocado, and it was delicious. So easy, so fresh. There's so many things you can do. So you can be a foodie with the foods as long as you know what foods you can eat and how much you can. You know, stick to your portions. For men can be about 4 to 6 ounces of protein. Women are 3 to 4 ounces of protein. And then I always say take your hand, 2 scoops of your greens. It should be like your 2 hands put together, make a scoop with it. And your grain should be 1 scoop. And there you go. And then as far as when it comes to spices and anything else, you can just throw it on there because you can't get enough of that stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so.
The other thing too with nutrition is I think a lot of times when we make a mistake and we know we kind of blew our diet for the day, it opens the floodgates.
Yes.
Let's not do that.
No, do not do that. I always tell everyone, if you have a bad meal, make it one bad meal, not a bad day.
Right.
You know, get back on track. And can I tell you, the most important part of all of this, if you missed a workout or a weekend of a workout or you have a bad meal, do not beat yourself up. That has to stop. We look at fitness, and this is, I don't want to be on a soapbox or anything, but fitness, we've gone in the wrong direction where people are beating themselves up if they're not living up to what they call perfection. And there's no such thing. That's not what health and fitness is about. Because if you're beating yourself up, what are you doing? You're adding stress to yourself. What is stress? Stress is actual physical thing that when you get into your body can make you sick.
Yep.
So do not do that. Know that we're going to have moments. Even those on the covers of the magazines make mistakes and have bad days. Yeah. They've actually built in a cheat day into their nutrition, by the way. I just happen to know that for a fact. But we're going to take a break here. We're going to be right back. This is Ellen Como on The Fitness Show, featuring UFC Gym Santa Clarita on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Welcome back to The Fitness Show, featuring UFC Gym Santa Clarita. My name is Ellen Como, your host. I'm here with Torrence Pfatenhauer. I'm not going to mess that up again. I did that once. And we've been talking about nutrition when we went to the break. And, you know, Torrence brought something up at the break that I think is so important we should talk about, and that's snacks.
Oh, yeah.
Snacks, to me, I call them nutrition regulators.
Okay.
Because by having the snacks, if you wait too long to eat, what happens is you look for the fast carbs because you need something that's just going to fill you up really quickly. And that's usually when you go to things that are not good for you.
Sure.
You know, that's when you're going to grab like 5 handfuls of chips or you're going to, you know, sugar or something. But if you have that snack, that it kind of regulates your sugars. So you're not, by the time you get to your meal, you're okay and you're not starving.
Right.
And you're going to be able to make better choices. So I know a lot of people are into meal planning. They do, and it's like 1 day a week. They put get all their meals done for the week.
Right.
Yeah, that works for a lot of people.
Sure.
Doesn't work for me at all. I'm terrible at that.
No, yeah. With 2 little boys in my house, we don't meal prep either. It's it's too much effort and too many little hands running around.
Yeah, it's just hard. And if you really know your proper nutrition, you're not thinking about it anymore. You don't have to prep. Now, some people have to prep because of work and because of time restraints. And I'm so glad that they're doing that, because what it's doing is keeping them on track.
Sure. And if they don't have time to do it, I know there's plenty of companies that will do it for you too.
Yeah, there's really good ones out here.
There's some easy ways around it if you have a time crunch.
And then there's also, I mean, I throw things together so quickly, because once you get to know, you can throw really healthy meals together very quickly.
Once the education's there, you can almost just do it by eye, which is great.
Yep. And I can run into, instead of going to a fast food, you can always find a Whole Foods and run in there and grab something. And they have their bowls that have brown rice. You can get salmon or chicken, a little teriyaki, and bok choy.
There you go.
So you can just go grab one of those and you're off and running again. Or Sprouts has some great prepared things that you can grab. Trader Joe's also, they have wonderful salads and healthy salads that you can grab. So there's things you can always grab to help you. And so I don't want you to get like overwhelmed with that part of it. Snacks are really tough though. Because what do we do? What do we snack on? One of the things that I found is called an RX bar, and I found it at Trader Joe's. And it's only got egg whites and dates and nuts. It's very clean. The fitness industry is really figuring out that we are demanding cleaner foods.
Yeah, the days of the candy bar, protein bar. When I went through that time of losing weight myself, I would look at those, and I was very calorie focused, and you look at these things, and they're a Snickers bar was almost healthier than the protein bar.
Yes.
And it's definitely shifted. I've noticed a lot more clean food out there for fitness companies that are coming to the market.
Yeah, Pure Macro bars and RX bars are two of the hot bars right now as far as how clean they are. So that's something you can do. You can grab a bar for a snack if you're running around. One of my favorites still is I like to take protein, some sliced, and I make sure that it's organic, and sliced turkey and a half an apple and 8 to 10 cashews. I know it sounds funny. And a little bit of mustard. And what I do is I slice the apple and I roll the turkey around the apple and I dip it in the mustard for that flavor. And then I have the cashews for kind of the dessert of my snack. And it's about a 250 calorie snack. It's delicious. So you can do something very easy like that.
Sure.
You can take a Faya yogurt and put some fruit in there.
Yep.
And you can also, now what's really, really cool is, with Faya, if you want a tiny bit of flavor, you can use a little bit of honey. I get the plain Faya yogurt. You could also put in a tiny bit of lemon curd, or put in like a little bit of organic jam in there just to give it a little flavor. But not a lot. I'm talking you just like a teaspoon. So it's like barely anything.
Right.
And then you can throw your fresh fruit in there and it makes a great snack.
Sure.
And you can also take some fresh basil and some sun-dried tomatoes, and you can throw it in the Faya and use it as a dip with like cucumber.
Delicious.
Yeah, you can do things like that. So there's so many different ways you can get around healthy snacks.
Right.
And you can eat healthy and still eat like a foodie. You can.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. I call myself like a fitness foodie.
Okay.
Because I love food, but I love to eat healthy as well.
Right.
So
the way it makes you feel is just, it's worth it.
Oh gosh. When you're not eating right, you're going to notice you're sluggish. About 3 o'clock, if you get that like lull, it's probably because you haven't been eating either stabilized your sugar enough. So by 3 o'clock, your body's ready for that nap. Now, I have to say that nap is a very, very normal thing. Most countries do take that siesta at that time. Our bodies are meant for naps. We just don't allow ourselves to have them anymore.
Right.
So we have to kind of trick our body with nutrition.
Yeah. Got to do the smart way around it.
Yeah. I'd rather do it with that than coffee, tea, or any caffeinated. You can have that in the morning. There's nothing wrong with coffee. I'm a coffee person myself. But we have about a minute left, so give everyone the information so they can find UFC Gym Santa Clarita.
Okay. We are located at 18655 Soledad Canyon Road, pretty near the Sierra Highway Soledad intersection, across from the movie theater there, IHOP Shopping Center is how everyone seems to know us. You can call us at 661-855-4150, or you can email me directly at Santa Clarita GM, like George and Mary, at ufcgym.com. Swing by, try a free class, visit us.
Absolutely. If you're looking for a gym and you're looking for a place to go and you're looking for a family, a healthy family to join, we're the family that you're looking for. We love come as you are. Everyone that comes to our gym, they always come in and we get to know who you are. We want to know who you are. We want to know your story. We're usually going to know your family. We are a family gym. We didn't even talk about the kid classes.
Yeah, bring the kids. We're not going to babysit. We're going to put them to work.
But we need to take off right now because our hour is over with you. We're going to be back in 2 weeks.
Right.
And everyone have a great week. Stay healthy and make sure you're eating great and getting your perfect workout week done. Bye-bye, everyone.